a shutdown. For the third verb, you must just know there's an alif after the first root letter. For the fourth verb, you must just know there's a hamza at the beginning. Or for the present tense, it starts with a dominant, but it has a kasra on the second root letter. For the fifth, what's that fourth verb? For the fifth verb, you must know it starts with a ta and it has a shutdown on the second root letter. For the sixth verb, you must know it starts with a ta and it has an alif after the first root letter. For the seventh verb, it has a noon in it. None of the others have a noon in it. Before the first root letter. The eighth verb, it has a ta after the first root letter. The ninth verb has a shutdown on the last root letter. The 10th verb has an extra sin and ta before the first root letter. That's it. No, that's done. No. You see, there's different ways of learning it. The different ways of learning it is to actually learn the skill. To learn every part of the skill. So you're going to say fa'ala, yufa'ilu, taf'ilan, mufa'ilun, mufa'alun, fa'ila, tufa'il. And that's already like the redacted form of the skill because we took out the majhul form. Fu'ila, yufa'il. Which you're going to learn in our nahu lesson, inshallah. Right? Then there's the next one is just going to be fa'ala, yufa'ilu, fi'alan, mufa'alatan, mufa'ilun, fa'ila, tufa'il. What's the next skill? Af'ala, yuf'ilu, fa'alan. You're just going to learn the skill, but you can also just identify it. Like I told you, it's just one thing for each. You just focus on what's extra in that skill. The whole purpose of it is mazid fi. There's an increase in it. There's something extra in it. So if you just learn what the extra thing is, then you might not know the whole skill, but you will always be able to pick it out. So I'll show you now. Okay, we're not doing Quran here now, but maybe in our Quran session, and then you'll see when we come across a verb that's on a different scale, that isn't actually that hard to tell. Because I just gave you all the rules now in like a minute. So, yeah. So this it's good to learn skills. Very good to learn skills. It helps you have a skeleton in your mind. You just locate things. And also, because the verbs are used for different things, like they have connotations to them. That makes it easy. So, for example, if I want to say now, look, if I know baka means to cry, but I want to say, look, the person is faking crying, then I'll say tabaka, put it on the sixth verb, because I know the sixth verb has that connotation of faking something. Or if I know anima means to know something, and I want to say to teach or to make someone else know, I know I can just go to the second verb or the fourth verb, allama or a'lama, because the fourth verb has the connotation of making it something transitive. But it's not, it's like, I don't think it's hard to learn. Because we say a lot of words, I just learned one scale, now I'm learning 10 scales, so much. We create that notion of it being a lot. The scales are very similar. And a repetition will help you on one front, but if you're not getting it on the repetition front, if you just know those changes, those extra things in the scales, then you'll be able to identify it. I'm just going to pull up any random surah quickly. Those online, can you see my screen? Oh, that's online. Online people, can you hear me?
Salam, Maulana, we can hear you, but we can't see your screen.
Remember what I told you, right? Okay, we're just gonna like guess, not guess, but like calculated guess some verbs. مالك يوم إياك نعبد. What verb do you think نعبد is in? No, you can't just guess second verb now because you learn second verb. Second verb, there must be a shutdown on the second root later. So is there any shutdown on the second root? Is there anything extra there? No. So which one do you think this is? First one, right? Okay. نستعين. Remember which one did I say has an extra seen and ta before the first root letter? Number 10. So that was number 10. Okay, ihdina is fine. Okay, because that's a amr. But mustaqim. It's not a verb, but it comes from one of the scales. It's derived from one of the scales. Which one do you think it comes from? Which one has the extra seen and ta before? 10, that was 10 as well. Okay. صراط الذين أنعمت. Which one has the extra hamza at the beginning? 4. That's 4. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Ask the question again. No, some nouns can also have a shadda. Nouns can also have a shadda. Sometimes they have a shadda because they have two of the same root letter in them. Actually, that's always one. There might be some other reasons for it as well, but yeah, basically. I'm going to give you some more examples quickly. I'm just picking out random verbs here. ألف لام ميم صاد كتاب أنزل. Fourth, as extra hamza at the beginning, right? Actually, this is the majhul form of the fourth verb, but it's from the fourth verb. فلا يكن في صدرك حرج منه لتنذر. تنذر. I said the fourth verb, right? It either starts with a hamza, or if it's present tense, it will start with a u. But I have a kasra on the second root letter. Tunvi. So that one is fourth verb as well, but the present tense. Ittabi'u. The root letters are taba'i. But can you see there's two tas there? Ittabi'u. There's a shed on it. So which one has a ta before the first root letter? Number 10 has a seen and ta. Number 8 only has a ta. So this is number 8. ما أنزل. Okay, we already got that form. من ربكم ولا تتبعوا. We already got اتبع. Right? So this is again going to be 8. قليلا ما تذكرون. Okay, this is a modified version of one of the skills. So I'm not going to ask you, but okay, just venture a guess into that one. It has a shadda on the second root letter, right? تذكر. So which two verbs have a shadda on the second root letter? Second and that's on the last root letter. Number 5. So this is either 2 or 5. 5 has an extra ta at the beginning. So this is number 5. Yeah, there's certain extra letters. Each one has a quality as well. That's correct. Some of them have a variety of qualities. وكم من قرية أهلكناها. أهلك. Which verb is that? Fourth. There's extra hamza at the beginning. وهم قائلون فما كان دعواهم إذ جاءهم بأسنا إلا قالوا إنا كنا ظالمين فلا نسألن الذين أرسل. 4. You can even gather the when you're in doubt, just choose 4. That's I wouldn't say it's the most common. Well, I don't know statistics, but it is very common. And the thing about 4 is that the present tense looks very similar to 1, except that it starts with a dhamma, and the second letter has a kasra. So that's why I say if you're in doubt, just choose 4. Because if it's any one of the others, you won't be in doubt. There'll be extra tali or extra shadda or something like that. Let's see. خسروا يظلمون. Those are all from the first verb. ولقد مكناهم. مكنا. Shut down the second root letter. That's the second verb. There's no tie at the beginning. قليلا ما تشكرون first verb. ولقد خلقنا. ثم صورناكم. Shut down the second root letter. No tie at the beginning. So it's number two. But we're not doing solving. So learn the skills, learn it well, repetition, but don't let it be something that's I'm not understanding it. It's so difficult. Just learn the thing. So what you do is, what's a good exercise to do is you just take your soft skills, right? You have it printed out, isn't it? You have it. Right? So you take your soft skill and you just identify what's extra in each of them. The first one has a shutdown, the second root letter. You can circle it quickly. First, shut down the second root letter. The third one will have an alif after the first root letter. Right. The fourth one, it's on your scale, we just circle an alif. And it's in order. The first one only has one thing extra. The second one has one thing, the third verb has one thing extra. The fourth verb has one thing extra. It has an alif after the first root letter. Right? Then the fourth one, so obvious, it has a hamza at the beginning. Right? But the present tense doesn't have that hamza. If you look at the present tense, it doesn't have that hamza. But how will you identify the present tense? It starts with a u. And it has a kasra on the second root letter. So it's going to be yuf'i. It's going to be start with a u. It's going to have a kasra on the second root letter. Because majhools also start with a u, isn't it? But the majhools always have a fatha on the second root letter. What's majhool now again? The passive form of the verb. We're just focusing on the active forms. Okay. Fifth verb, it has a shadda on the second root letter, but it has an extra ta at the beginning. Tafa'ala. So you can see there's almost like number 2 and 5 are similar. Shadda on the second root letter, but extra ta. And 6 and 3 are similar. Number 3 has an alif after the first root letter. Number 6 also has an alif after the first root letter, but it has an extra ta at the beginning. And 7 is different to all of them. 7 has a noon before the first root letter. Noon before the first root letter. Yeah, there's that hamza to wasl, but don't worry about that. You just focus on the noon. I'm saying you focus on the noon. If you see the noon, you'll be able to identify. On the 8th bar, it has an extra ta after the first root letter. 5 and 6 is a ta before the first root letter, right? 8 is a ta after the first root letter. Ifta'ala or yafta'ilu. Yeah, don't worry about it. It is, I mean, when you learn the skill, you learn it as part of the skill. But I'm just saying, don't worry about it. Because if you find a ta after the first root letter, that's going to help you identify. What next? 9. There's a shadda on the last root letter. If'al, yaf'allu. Shadda on the last root letter. Now that one may sometimes be confusing because all double letter verbs, they also have a shadda on the last root letter. But here you're going to see, but then you're only going to see 2 root letters with a shadda. Here you must see 3 root letters. The last one must have a shadda. Like ibyadda, ba, ya, dal. There's a shadda on the last one. Ihmarra, izraqqa, ikhtarra. It's usually used for colors. Iswadda. Okay, and the last one, before the first letter, before the first root letter. The present tense will start with a ya, ta, hamza, noon. You just focus on the noon before the first root letter. And then the last one, sin and ta before the first root letter. And that's it. But now I don't know if that is a wise thing for me to do. You're not going to be lazy to learn your skills. You're just going to tell yourself, no, I'm not to pick it up. No, still learn the skills. But, I think it's actually good because in the Quran section, we combine with that class. So I'll at least be able to point out the skill and I'll say, okay, you see the extra senior there? That's why it's 10. See the extra hamza? That's why it's 4, etc. Yeah, smart and not harder, but do the hard work also at all, entrench it in your mind. Because you see, there's still something you have to learn from this girl. One thing is knowing how to identify them, but it's another thing knowing how to form them. So there's a bit more detail to the harakat in terms of how to form the present tense, how to form the amr and the nahi, and the ismul fa'il and the ismul maf'ul and all of those things. It's kind of intuitive, but if you just look at what I told you, you will always be able to identify it. You should be able to identify it. But learning the scale is going to help you form it. Okay. Right, let's get to our Nahwu. Here's a so short now. Otherwise, with that or something. So last week we said that what we're going to be doing in that room, inshallah, is we're going to be looking at all of the different hads. And what are the 3? Ism can only be one of 3 hads. Raf, nasb, or jar. Raf, nasb, or jar. And what we said, what we're going to do is we're going to look at each of the hads and what functions get fulfilled by that had. And then we're going to just unpack that function a little bit more. So some of them are things that we've done before, isn't much change to it. In a rough, we identified 6 functions, right? When a word is a fa'il, that's the doer of a verb, and na'ibul fa'il, that's a substitute for the doer. But that only appears in what kind of sentence? A sentence that has a rule verb, passive form. The fa'il obviously only appears in a jumla fi'aliyya, a sentence with a fi'al in it, but it must be the active verb, the ma'loom verb. Mubtada appears in a jumla ismiyya. Khabar also appears in Jumla Ismiyya. Mubtada is the subject, Khabar is the predicate. Then we have Ismu Kana wa Akhawatuha, the subject of a sentence that starts with Kana, and Khabaru Inna, Akhawatuha, the predicate of a sentence that starts with in. Let's look at the first one now, inshallah. Let me just see. Was cluttered. Okay. So by and large, we would have learned these things last year already. Tell me what you know about the Faail. First, you know what's in Halatun. Raf. Don't say it's jar. Please, of all of them, not jar. Okay, there's only two things in jar. Ismul Majroor and Mudaf ilayh. Only those two. So jar is easy. You know, if like I told you, if you're in doubt, just choose the fourth verb. In Nahu, if you're in doubt, just choose one. Okay, I shouldn't actually say that. I would usually say just choose Nasb, because the Raf usually stands out. That is at the beginning or something. But okay, if you're going to make a mistake, then let it not be jar. Right, let it be Nasb or Raf. Right, okay. So we know that the Faail is in Halat Raf. What else do you know about the Faail? How do you go about finding the Faail? Ili. It's either at the end of the verb, what's to the left of the verb, what's right. So when you do that ili, whenever you see a verb, فعل that's معلوم, whenever you see a فعل that's معلوم, it will be there. Even if you like in the middle of a Jumla Ismiya, you still do ili. And you will find, if it's a معلوم verb, if it's an active form verb, you will find a Faail. Right? How many Faails can a verb have? Only one. But now you may say, well, what if I say جاء أحمد وزيد? What does that mean? Ahmad and Zaid came. But what's our rule? There will only be one thing that will be called the Faail, that fulfills the function of Faail. So only Ahmad will be the Faail. جاء أحمد وزيد. أو جاء أحمد وزيد. Only Ahmad will be the Faail. What will Zaid be then? We call him something else. We'll call it the ma'atuf, an adjunct. So, but you know, we'll cover that when we get to that lesson. The rule is only one Faail. Yes. The first one. What else do you know? We look for it by doing ili. But what if I say, look, Muhammadun ja'a bil Quran. What does that mean? But let's just see. Muhammadun ja'a bil Quran. What does it mean translated from? Muhammad ja'a bil Quran. Okay, if you want to say like a bil Quran. So Muhammad wrote, if you have ja'a plus b, you can translate it as bring. So Muhammad wrote the Quran. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Right? Where's the Fa'il? Is Muhammad on the left or right of Ja'a? Muhammadun, remember you are right from right to left. So Muhammadun Ja'a bil Quran. So where will Muhammad be? On the right or left? On the right. So can I call that a Fa'il? Never. What's our rule? In, left, or inside. So it can never be on the right. Where will it be? Where will the Fa'il be? Right. If you look at ili, is anything at the end of Ja'a? No. Is anything to the left of it? Below Quran, it's harful jar and ism majrur, so it's not there. Where left we have inside. Inside Ja'a is huwa, and that huwa refers back to the word. So it will never be on the. What is that thing on the right then? Remember, Muhammad is an ism. If the sentence starts with the ism, then it's a jumla ismiya. Right. So it will be the mubtada. If the sentence starts with the ism, it's a jumla ismiya. So that will be my mubtada. But the funny thing is, yeah, you can see something about the khabar. But the khabar of my sentence is a whole verbal sentence. But the khabar of the sentence isn't one word. The khabar of the sentence now is a whole verbal sentence. But you can have a listen on that when we get to the khabar, the different types of khabar that you can have. Okay, so we'll learn a couple of things. Whenever you have a fi'al ma'loom, an active form verb, there must be a fa'il. How do you find the fa'il? In, left, inside. There's only one, and it will never be on the right. Right. What else do you know about it? The fa'il must always be in halatul raf. One other thing. It must always be in halatul raf. However, the fa'il can be a word that is mabni. What does mabni mean? The ending doesn't change. So it might not look like it's in a raf, but it will be. We call that then an implicit state of raf, or fi mahalli raf. But the rule is the fa'il is in. So even if it's a word that doesn't change, it's still in raf. It's just not explicit, it's implicit. Okay. What you also need to know is, we said at the end to the left to inside. To find the fa'il at the end, you need to know how to do that. But that's what we learned in Sarf last time. Right? Fa'ala, nothing at the end. It's a standard masculine. Fa'alu, the waw at the end. Right? We left out the duals for sake of ease. But the dual will always be alif. So it'll just be fa'ala. Right? Fa'alu, the waw at the end. Then we have fa'alat, that's a standard feminine. Then we have fa'alna, short noon at the end. Fa'alta, short ta at the end. Fa'altum, the tum at the end. Fa'alti, ti at the end. Fa'altunna, the tunna at the end. Fa'altu, the tu at the end. Fa'alna, the na at the end. And present tense, look at the end, right? Not at the beginning. The beginning is to clarify things for something. How does the present tense go? Yaf'alu, yaf'aluna. So now just una. But the focus is on the waw still. And so I see that waw, but I must also look at the beginning. It's a ya and a waw. So it's going to be ghaymin. Then we have taf'alu, standard feminine. Then we have yaf'alna. Short noon at the end. Also look at the beginning. Is a ya, ghaymin female. Then I have taf'aluna. No, sorry, first just taf'alu again, you won't know. Then taf'aluna, again the una at the end, but there's a ta at the beginning now. So that means you, many males. Then taf'alina, the ina at the end. There's only one that has that, that's one female, you, one female. And then there's taf'alna, short noon at the end, but it starts with a kana. It's going to be you, many female. Then there's af'alu, there's nothing at the end. So it's actually, but where you're looking at the beginning of it. No. In terms of ili, where will it be? It's inside. There's nothing at the end. Right? We don't have it in a context, so there's nothing on the left. Where is the fa'al? Inside. And what is inside? Af'alu. Ana. Right. So there's something that indicates that to me, and that's the hamza at the beginning. But the rule is eli. The technical correct rule in Arabic is you don't look at the beginning, you look at the end. And the same goes for naf'al. There's nothing at the end, right? Nothing to the left, so to the inside. Inside it is a we. How do I know that? It starts with a name. But it's inside. Okay, so quick exercise. What I want us to do in this exercise, the exercise is to translate all of the exercises in this thing, by and large. Maybe there's one exercise that isn't like it, but almost all of the exercises in here are examples from the Quran. So there are sections or fragments of ayat from the Quran. What I want you to do is find for me the fa'il. I want you to you translate the sentence and find the fa'il. So for now, you can do the translation for homework, inshallah, right? But for now, just maybe get into your groups and try and find the fa'il for me. Groups of 2 or 3, whatever. Excuse me? You did it for homework already. Okay, good. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's just get into our groups for 5 minutes. And maybe as much as you can, try and identify for me the. So I'm not asking you to know what it means. Just identify, even if you don't know what it means, identify the verb. You can see these verbs in different scales there. Right, so you can get to your groups. Online, I'm going to put you into your groups now. Forgive me, breakout rooms are not enabled on this Zoom account at the moment. I will rectify that for next week, inshallah. So what you can do is we can just have one big group here now, inshallah. So you can start speaking. I'm going to mute myself. You people can start speaking. Don't now focus on the Mizan. Okay, let's just focus back here quickly. You might not have finished all of them yet. That's okay. We can do the rest of the picture, but what I want to do is just check that we're on the right track. Obviously, there were 2 pages of, well, there were a few on the first page and then another page of examples, right? Up to 20. Okay. Number 9, can we first go from the beginning? Yeah? We will get to number 9. So let's see the first one. نزل الكتاب بالحق. The fa'il. How do we find it? We must do in. Is there anything at the end of the verb? No. Anything to the left? الكتاب is النصب. بالحق is حرف الجر اسم مجرور. Nothing in the left. So where is it? Inside. هو inside. Right. نزلنا عليك الكتاب. نزلنا عليك كتابا. Is it at the end? نزلنا. That's good. Just a note with a na at the end, right? How do you know when it's a fa'il and not a maf'ul bih? The difference will be when it's a fa'il, there must be a sukoon before it. Can you see that? نزلنا. If it was something else, نزلنا, then it will be a maf'ul bih. So it must be a sukoon. Just hide it. Okay, next one. Great. To say he revealed the book بالحق with truth. If you want. We have a verbal sentence. The fa'il is inside, the maf'ul bihi, and then we have a harful jar ism majrur. You can, it's muta'alliq. I'll explain that another time. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Next one. Aslama wajhahu lillahi. We have a verb there, aslama. Where's the fa'il? Okay, there's nothing at the end, right? To the left, we have wajha. That's in nasb. The who is just a damir attached to it. Then lillahi again a harful jar and ism majrur. So there's nothing in the rafl. We're left with inside. Aslam is the verb. Which hand? Which shabab? 4, right? The fa'il is inside. Aslama, to submit. So that's why if you know the whole scale, you know Aslama, Yuslimu, the Ismul Fa'il will be Muslim. 1 minute, 1 minute. مفعول به وجهه. Sits in nasb. But don't worry about all of that now. We can go through that next week, inshallah. But now I just want to see that you're getting the family. ما نزل ما نزل الله من شيء. ما نزل الله من شيء. Where's the verb? نزل. Where's the fa'il? نزل الله. There's nothing at the end. Is there anything on the left? Allahu. Can see it's in raf. Right, that's meant to be my fa'il. Okay. All right. Okay. We'll pause here for now, inshallah. What I want you to do is for homework, do the remainder of the examples. What is the exercise? Translate these sentences. But the most important part of the exercise is that I want you to identify for me the verb. Identify for me the verb. Yes, to translate it correctly, you must keep in mind some of the things we left last year. وإذا مفعول به حرف الجر اسم مجرور مضاف إليه all of those. But I went translation and I went the فاعل. 20. Yes. Until number 20. Okay. We're in there for now. جزاكم الله خيرا وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I'll see you in the Quran period later, inshallah.